The build that we're putting together tonight is for an upcoming YouTube video about a new trend that I've been noticing and we've been talking about on this stream. And it all revolves around this CPU. The Ryzen 7 9800X3D. Now, I'm not talking about the meta. No, not a sleeper build. Dude, I wish it was a sleeper build. I am very close to pulling the trigger on building a sleeper build. Don't go anywhere. That's got to be coming soon. I'm not talking about the new meta of high-end gaming PCs. We know this is the default option. Spitting everywhere. This is the default option for a high-end gaming PC. But the meta that I'm also seeing is, especially during this GPU shortage, more and more people are starting to pair the absolute best of the best, super high-end CPUs with more mid-ranged GPU options. This is the XFX Pro Gaming RX 9070. And if you can't read, well, if you can't read, then this isn't going to help. But if you couldn't read small text, but this is bigger, this is the white edition GPU. What we're all starting to see a lot lately is people traditionally, like the last 20 years of gaming, people, the non-XC, people would only buy a 9800X3D, 7800X3D, 12900K, whatever the top of the line CPU was at the time. People would only buy them to pair with whatever the top of the line GPU was. Otherwise, a much better CPU typically for this GPU would be a 9600X, 7600X. Not even a Ryzen 7, like a 77 or 9700X. But more and more people these days, just out in the public, not from me telling them to, have been pairing more mid-ranged GPUs with high-end CPUs. For the RAM, we got some Clev Crass V RGB. This is a 6000 megahertz, 32 gigabyte DDR5 kit clocked, at a CL30 rating. Beautiful RGB white RAM kit. We also got a Clev Crass C910. This I've been using for like every build lately. Such a go-to Gen 4 affordable 1 terabyte. What is Clev? Clev is just a brand that you wouldn't know about. Like if you're new to PC building and you've only heard of like Corsair, maybe G-Skill, the popular RAM brands, Samsung for SSD. Like if you only have the basics, this is definitely not on your list. But if you've been building PCs for a while, you'll know that this is like a very reliable budget brand. And these are definitely not breaking any PCIe Gen 4 read-to-write speeds. But this is consistently one of the most affordable Gen 4 drives on the market. And I don't only buy it because of that. I say this every time. But I love that it comes with a removable heatsink, because we don't need to use it today. And it actually comes removed in the box. So you can choose to install it or just leave it off. And when you have a motherboard, especially a beautiful motherboard like this one, this is the ASRock X870 Pro RS Wi-Fi. Whew. Beautiful motherboard. When it has an M.2 heatsink, you don't need to install the little heat shield, the little tiny heat shield guy on your SSD. You just leave it off and then you use this on the motherboard. So I love that it has that feature. I know it's like not that big of a deal, but I don't understand why other brands don't do that. That might be beyond my pay grade, but it is what it is. All right, we have the Asus Prime 850 watt gold ATX 3.0 power supply. I did not buy this. Asus sent this to me randomly whenever they sent me one of the RTX 50 series GPU launches. We never ended up using it. It's white, it looks clean. It's still black cables, I believe, but we have extensions Looks like a pretty good unit, but I have never used an Asus Prime power supply before, so we'll test that out a little bit. Speaking of which, though, we're going to be plugging in some all-white Asia Horse cable extensions. This is definitely going to be a super clean all-white build. Speaking of all-white build, to cool our 9800 X3D, check this out. This is the brand new Montech Hyperflow Silent 360. Chill without a sound. 360, all white, 0 RGB. This is a beautiful, beautiful looking AIO. I'm actually very excited to use this. I love how Montech even stepped up their game with the box art. Definitely stealing some NZXT vibes, very close to the color scheme and whatnot, but looks very good. I'm excited to use that. And then finally, the case to tie this whole all-white build together is none other. Oof. It's the Montech XR Wood. This is an $80 ATX case, which is not that bad. For an ATX model that comes with 4 pre-installed ARGB fans. I think we're just gonna set the colors to be all white. I don't really want to introduce any new colors to it. The cable management is not amazing from what I remember inside this case. I think that was like one of my main complaints, was the lack of cable management help. But we will jog our memory once we go to build inside of it. Regardless, this is gonna look amazing. I think this is a really good execution of the wood grain style, just putting it a little bit up there on the front. There's another case that just came out, the Lee & Lee one, the 217, the Landcool 217 with the wood grain. I think that's probably the best execution of the wood grain so far, but yeah, the Montech XR, that's the entire parts list. If you've never installed an AM5 CPU, we're gonna open that latch first. Then we're gonna open the security latch. Then we're gonna open the real latch. We're gonna hold it open. We're gonna do a quick check. Make sure none of these pins are bent. You know, my videographer was filming this motherboard today. I think he is only at a grand total of bending 1. There might have been 2 times, but I'm pretty sure it's just 1. Pin that was bent in the history of him recording motherboards. So not too bad. We got the gold arrow here lining up with the gold triangle lined up with the triangle right there on the motherboard. We're gonna put this in here, set it down into place. It is secured. Give it a little bit of a wiggle, not a RAM wiggle, but just a little bit of a wiggle to make sure it's not going anywhere. That's in there, good to go. Close that. Then we're gonna secure this latch down. This is the worst part of building with AM5. Oh my God. So much pressure needs to be applied. It genuinely feels like you're breaking it, but that is secured in there. CPU, 9800 X3D. Good to go. We got an hour 33 left. Next up, let's get some RAM. Again, this is the Clev Crass V RGB. 32 gigabyte DDR5 kit, clocked at 6,000 megahertz. With a CL rating of I think it's 30. Oh my God, it doesn't say on the box. Hopefully it says on the sticks. CL 30. Actually, this is oh my God, this is a beautiful RAM kit here. Oh my goodness, actually, hold the phone. This is better than I was anticipating. Oh my God, hold on. This RAM kit actually perfectly matches with the two. Oh my God, look at that match. Try and give a little bit of a shadow here. Oh, that is crazy. I would love to take credit for these matching, like, literally perfectly. Look at this. That is absolutely insane. I did not do that on purpose, though, but I will do that next time. That is crazy good matching. Let's install these perfectly matching RAM sticks here. We're gonna go in the second slot. Set it in there nice and gently. We're gonna push down on both sides evenly. So hopefully, if you do it right, these are gonna snap up and lock into place like they just did. We're gonna do that again. All of them snapped up. Good to go. All right, let's do this. What the? What is this? Is this a mag? What the? What is that? Is that a battery? Looks like a watch battery. What is that? I have no idea. Oh wait, hold on. There's plastic on here. All right, let's remove the plastic. Oh, it was just that. Okay. What the? Is this a button? No. Can you take it off? There's no visible screws. This has to be something. Should I check the manual right now? Absolutely. Am I going to? Honestly, maybe. I don't know if I can figure it. This has got to be some sort of mechanism to open this M.2 slot. It has to be. I see no screws. This has got... Twist? Looks like a magnet. Push it? Pushing doesn't do anything. I'm gonna try pulling. Okay, pulling definitely doesn't do it. It's gotta be twist. Oh my god, what the... Do I actually have to get the manual out for this? Slide it sideways? Oh. Oh, that's fancy. I don't really like it though. Watch. This is what happens when you slide it sideways. Very interesting. I know it got the best of me. Thank you for the assist there. I know it's gonna look bad, me saying I don't like it, because I couldn't figure it out. Dude, I definitely don't like that, man. Like, what? I mean, give us an arrow. Are you serious? I got lucky. I moved left naturally. I could have moved up. I could have moved down. I could have moved right. And then at that point, I could have given up. It's ridiculous. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one. All right, let's remove that. Definitely not going to forget that. We're definitely not going to forget this one either. I got an ab. What happened? Sorry. We'll probably make a ZTT extras on that one. Can't say I'm a big fan of this design, ASRock. They're always trying something new. I'll give them credit for trying... Oh my god, what the... What happened to, like, giving us some... Oh, there we go. There's the easy tab I was looking for. Thank you. Good call. I like that they're trying something new. Trying to innovate over here. That one didn't hit the mark. This is what hits the mark right here. The SSD without the heatsink installed. I will continue talking about this until other SSD manufacturers do this. Since we do have a heatsink on here, if I can figure out how to reinstall it, we do not have to use this little baby heatsink. We can just install the SSD right in there like that. Twist it down. Is this a twist or? Yep, there we go. Twist it down like that. It's good to go. I like it. But let's try to figure this nonsense out again. Okay, we do that. Oh, and then you just push it down and now it's on there. Boom. Let's try it out. Looks great. Yeah, I agree. This is a very good looking AIO. Alright. Let's check this out real quick. We got the instructions right here. Let's go. Much appreciated. Oh, look at that. fans pre-installed. Zoom out a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Look at this. Bang. Love to see that. Oh man, this is looking good. That's clean. All right. Oh, hold on. We got some exposed thermal paste here. Let me put that cover back on. There we go. Try not to mess that up. That way I don't have to... Wait, that's not right. I don't want to mess it up so that I don't have to install thermal paste myself, but... This is not the right cover. Montech, what? Hold on. Oh, hold on. There we go. It was slightly off. We're good. I see the issue. There we go. I think I did get... Oh, wait, no, that's the cut. Never mind. So to say, I thought I got thermal paste on my finger, but... Okay, that's not sitting on there right, but that is not a problem. We will move past that one. All right. AIO, looking super clean. We're going to mount it like this. The fans are in the correct orientation. Being intake, or they're going to be exhaust in this case. Pushing air out the top of the case. We're going to mount it just like this. All of the fans are daisy chained in the back with very minimal cable routing here. Absolutely love that. Even gives us a spot to daisy chain our rear fan if we want to, but we probably won't take advantage of that, but I like it. Oh wait, no, that's going to be at the front. Never mind. And then it ends with a PWM connector on the back there. So this is very good for cable management. We also are not using any ARGB because it's the Silent series. But so far, so good. Let's look at these install instructions real quick. I love that short daisy chaining. I do too, man. I do too. That looks real good. All right, what do we got to do for AM5? All right, I'm lost. Okay, we got to do some action here. It's not what I was thinking. We got to do some action. We got to find some stuff. Okay. Are they labeled? Oh, look at that. They are labeled. Oh, you love to see it. Hold on. Check this out. I need some AMD action here. I feel like this is what we need here, but there we go. AMD. Perfectly labeled. Thank you, Montech. AMD/AM4/AM5. We need that. We also need this. These are radiator screws and screws for the pump. I don't think we need anything else. I think that's all we need. I don't know. Is this, No, that's not AM5. We also need the AM5 bracket. Where can I find that? That's probably AM5, right? Yeah, that's AM5. We will need that as well, but we're not going to put that on yet. Okay, now we have everything we need. Quick question. Do you guys like these on AIO tubes or no? You guys like these or no? Who's a fan? Let's go yay or nay. Yay or nay. These are AIO tube combs. I have no idea what the real name is, but that's what I'm calling them. We will listen to Shauner's poll. That is at 66% voting yay. And we will install these stupid AIO clips. Courtesy of Shauner. Thank you, Shauner, for your service. Your services are no longer... Actually, they are required. Please don't leave. They 100% are required. I appreciate them. All right, there we go. Happy? How did I lose all my bits? We'll switch LTT screwdrivers real quick, courtesy of Linus. We will use the red one instead. All right, let's uninstall these. We are no longer using these anymore. How much RAM? 32 gigs, DDR5. Throw that in there. Throw that in there. We gotta install these screws real quick. Which go in like this, I believe. Yeah. Do that on all of them. Hand tighten for now, I guess. I think that's good enough. Invade with the Twitch Prime, Berserker, Ace Bowers, Oleg, Captain Hair Gel, that's a name. All with the Twitch Prime subs, thank you. Mr. Renegade, Hot, and Artham is live with the Twitch Prime subs, thank you. Keo, Tier 1, Thusalax with the Twitch Prime sub. Sorry, that was 10 minutes ago. I think I missed that one, sorry. Thank you guys very much for the subs. There we go. All right, so those are all installed. These are just the mounting brackets for, or the mounting screws for the AIO to mount onto. I like to put them on during the motherboard prep. That way we don't have to do all that nonsense once the motherboard is installed into the case. So that is going to conclude our motherboard prep session here. Now it's time to prep our motherboard. We will need these later. For our, did I say motherboard? I meant power supply. This is the Asus Prime 850 watt gold. This is an ATX 3.0. Beautiful looking motherboard. Or, oh my god, I said motherboard again. Power supply. It is all black cables though, which is an interesting choice. The reason they do that is, I kind of wanted to check this out. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. Oh, that's how they do it. I think this panel, I could be wrong. I think this panel is removable, so you can either show the white side or the black side. Oh wait, hold on. So our power supply is going to be mounted like this, but you could mount it. Oh, never mind. It's not removable. It's just upside down, but the fan can only be on one. That I don't know if I agree with that. Anyway. They market this as being white or black, but we want our fan definitely to be down, so I wouldn't... Maybe this is removable. I'm not 100% sure. Actually, it might be. I think it is, actually. And then you could reverse it. I don't know. Either way, we're going to mount it like this. And it comes with all black cables no matter what, so... We're going to use some cable extensions on this one. Let's get out. This is a fully modular power supply, so we get to pick and choose which cables we go with, so we don't waste space. We are going to need, for this build, like every build, a 24 pin for the motherboard, and we are definitely going to need a 4+4 for the CPU. In addition, for our graphics card, we need a double 6+2. Not a 12 volt. Although it still has a 12 volt connector on it. Which is unfortunate. But this is a double 6+2. And then I am also going to install some SATA power. I don't know if we need it. We probably do with our case. I could look. That would be too responsible of me. I'm gonna put this one on because it's got 3 SATA connectors for any accessories or the case fans or a hub. I'm not exactly sure. I forget. But those are the connectors that we will need for this power supply. Good old trusty 6+2. I agree. I agree. But I feel like I've made enough content about how I feel about the 12 volt high power connector. You're only using one cable for the GPU? Yeah, I never really... This is definitely due to lack of research and motivation. I have never really bought into the whole, like, you always have to use 2 separate power connectors. I know, or actually I don't know, but I would assume based off of how many people say to do that, there are valid reasons to do that. I know people that build at the office do that. But I have never done that on purpose, and I've never had an issue with my graphics card. Like, literally ever. Because of doing the double 6+2. So that is just something that I've never really, like, I buy modular power supplies so I don't have to use extra cables. Feel free to give me your opinions on that one. I would love to hear them if they're different. I guess I picked the wrong day to use my Prime sub. Not to sway anybody from using their Twitch Prime subs, but yeah. There's a good chance that you got a free one today. Sorry, ma'am. I just graduated from Pitt. Nice. Why did your GPU fans stop? Because they're not doing anything. And they don't spin unless if there is a workload on them. Or the temperature gets up. Scarfo with the 1,000 bit, he says, I sold my Prius and I told you I wanted to send money. Yeah, it took 4 hours one way. Okay, I don't know why I thought it was more than that. Yeah, we know you sold the Prius. Moving on to bigger and better. Appreciate that, ma'am. That is absolutely insane. Thank you very much. Did Mr. Beast ever sub to you? I think he just did, ma'am. 50 gifted subs? That is very Mr. Beast-esque. Right there. Scarfo is my Mr. Beast. What happened to the good old Thermaltake cases and power supplies? I mean, they're still kicking for sure. I mean, their power supplies are still, like, I would say as relevant as they've ever been. I mean, they still make really good power supplies. A lot of tier A's and B's. Not all of them. Not all of them. Their cases, I mean, for me, which is a personal thing, their designer and me, we just don't sync up. I don't really like. I'm thinking about like the towers, the tower case. I know a lot of people like them. That is definitely just not my style. Yeah, I mean, I think they're still kicking, still going. I'm sure that they have good customer base and whatnot, but I just don't feature them often. All right, we got some cable comb action. We would need those and those, and we will need that. That should be it. Thermaltake PSUs sell a lot outside of the US. Yeah, I mean, they definitely sell in the United States too. I buy a lot of Thermaltake power supplies. That's what I was saying. Like, they're still as relevant as ever, I think, in the power supply game. It's just their cases, the aesthetic design just usually doesn't hit the mark for me personally, but what's your minimum VRAM right now? It's a tough call. I mean, remember that VRAM isn't everything. But I mean, 8 gigabytes is probably what I would say to answer that question. You should buy, yeah, I mean, unless if you're buying a sub $100 graphics card, and even then you still can get 8 gigabyte cards. I really wouldn't consider a GPU below 8 gigabytes, right? Because at $130 to $150, you can get a 5700 XT, like we were talking about earlier. And that has 8 gigabytes. You know, for like $250, you can get a 6700 XT, which has 12 gigabytes. And if you want to buy like a more budget but still new with a 4060 or 5060, that's obviously 8. We'll find out if the 50. I mean, is it confirmed that the 5060 is 8? I'm not sure. I feel like NVIDIA has already confirmed that, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But we'll find that out. Oh wait, no. Oh my god, I am so confused. Yes, the 5060 is already out. Jeez, I'm lost right now. We got a 9060 XT in the studio today. It got here yesterday. And we were talking about benchmarking it versus the 5060. And for some reason, I was thinking that the 5060 wasn't out yet. It's because it came out during Computex, which is... I made a video talking about how shady it is that NVIDIA launched the 5060 during Computex because they knew us PC building YouTubers would be busy. But yeah, the 5060 is definitely out. All right. Sauce with the tier 1 Twitch Prime sub, thank you. Northern Lights with the one... Sorry, I forgot. Northern Lights with the 1,000 biddies says, would love to know where you got the STL file for that GPU. Dude, what is going on? Is Twitch running like a sale or something? Oh my god, another 25? Thank you so much, man. I am running out of ways to say thank you. Milkman again with the 25 tier 1 gifted subs. That is absolutely obnoxious. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I am very grateful for your support of ZTT. I don't know how else to say it though. Thank you very much, man. What 3D printer do you have? Bamboo Lab sent me the X1 Carbon and the A1, which are really nice. I like them. They work very well. And Elegoo sent me the Centauri Carbon, which I also really like. And I'm not a 3D printing expert by any means, but I will go as far to say, if you are thinking about jumping into the 3D printing world and you're trying to do it on a budget, and most importantly, you are okay printing just one color, one filament at a time, then I would heavily consider the Centauri Carbon. It costs $300, and the quality and speed and reliability is absolutely insane. It is ridiculous. I did do a fully sponsored pre-roll ad for them a few months ago. I'm still using it to this day. And I kid you not, if I am printing a single color item right now, it's actually the printer that I go to first. It's super impressive for $300. It's actually wild. I would guess that they're actually losing money on it. And it's like a loss leader for them to get people to buy their filament or whatever else they're selling. I can't imagine they're making a profit on that. It's ridiculous. Thoughts on the Okonos Mirage 4? We actually have a pre-roll ad for the Mirage 4 coming out tomorrow in the long-form YouTube video. But I have no problems giving you my unsponsored thoughts because they are the same as my sponsored thoughts. And it's really good. I've built with it once already. Last week during the Thirsty Thursday stream. The all-white $600 gaming PC. Check that out. That long-form video will go live in a couple weeks. But you can watch the live stream now. I love it, man. $70 micro ATX dual chambered fish tank case. Math ain't mathin'. It's not supposed to, man. Hi, Curly. Yeah, everyone say hi, Curly. It's Curly with a K. He was over on YouTube, but Twitch chat, I mean, feel free. Everyone say hi, Curly. He still might not be bought into this. He might still think that either A, I'm not reading chat, or this is a fake pre-recorded live stream. It might be fake. Actually, this whole thing could be fake. Hi, Curly could be a bot. You guys, this whole thing could be fake. That's a lot of high curlies, though. Hi, Curly. Welcome to the stream. First time chatter. Dude, imagine being a first time chatter. Dude, I bet Curly's eating this up right now. Thank you for stopping by, Curly, man. Curly is a real one? I don't know about that yet. Curly could be the bot. Out of everyone typing right now, Curly could actually be the bot. We'll never know, unfortunately. Okay, power supply is prepped. The Asus Prime 850 watt ATX 3.0 with some Asia Horse all white cable extensions. That is good to go. Now, motherboard's prepped, power supply's prepped, GPU's unboxed. We can get out our case. We're good to go. Let's start installing parts. Let's actually do the PC building part of this live stream, shall we? All right, motherboard fully prepped, ready to go. That's gonna go in here like so. We're gonna line up all these standoffs, make sure we're good to go, which they are. We're gonna get our little accessory bag here and start screwing those in. How's that sound? We're good? Motherboard. There we go. Do you still use the Artisan mouse pad? Yes, that I definitely still use. Yeah, that's what I have on my desk right now. So good. So good. I definitely take it for granted, though. I loved my Artisan, like, when I first got it, and it was, like, drastically different compared to anything else that I've ever used before. But now, like, I don't even think about it anymore. It's like, it's become second nature. I can definitely feel myself taking it for granted. It's really, really good. We need a sleeper build stream. I know. I just gotta pull the trigger. I just gotta commit to it. Maybe I'll just commit to it for our next long form project. We have a pure performance build guide video coming out tomorrow for a long form ZTT video. And then after that, we have a $600 white PC video, which is what I built on Thirsty Thursday last week. And then the one after that is this video talking about the 9800X3D being paired up with mid-range GPUs. And then after that, we don't have a project. Maybe I just commit to that being the sleeper build. That way I know it's going to get done. Just do the sleeper build after that. All right, can't see these standoffs. There we go. Do you like Woodford Reserve whiskey? I see that every time I go to buy whiskey. I've never tried it before. Should I? What's your thoughts on the B650 Steel Legend? I mean, I have always liked the Steel Legend series. I have liked it more for the aesthetics, though, not the performance. I mean, I buy a lot of ASRock motherboards. Like, they aren't inherently just bad. But from my experience building PCs, and like what my employees will tell you as well, is ASRock motherboards are probably the most finicky. Not in like a PC's completely busted kind of vibe, but I think we all see the most small, tiny, weird, quirky issues with ASRock motherboards. Nothing like groundbreaking, system breaking. Just weird stuff. Weird little stuff. Okay, so what I remember doing with this Montech XR Wood last time is just going like balls to the wall, full on cable management before we even touch anything. Let's actually plug everything in, and then we're just gonna cable manage the heck out of it right at the beginning to give ourselves a good foundation so it doesn't become a huge problem. It'll definitely become a problem later because this is a terrible starting point. But let's at least give us a fighting chance with good cable management at the beginning here. I'm going to plug in the USB 3.0 connector up here. Tiggy with the Twitch Prime sub. Kuruki with the tier 1. Appreciate that. USB 3 is plugged in. Let's do some front panel action. That's plugged in right there. Definitely got some USB-C. Plug that in. It's right below the USB 3.0. That's plugged in. Pull them a little bit tighter. USB 3. USB-C. And then let's do the HD audio. And I think other than that, we just got a fan connector and then we'll... Or maybe 2 fan connectors, I can't remember. What do we got here? RGB. Are these all daisy chained together? Yeah. Okay, so the 3 front and the 1 rear fan, they are all daisy chained together. Which I'm okay with. We just gotta figure out where's the best connector. For cable managing. Looks like we only really have the bottom. Yeah, we really only have the bottom to use, which not a huge fan of. Maybe if we route it that, yeah, okay, we can do that. Plug it in on the bottom down here. Like that. Okay, this is what it's looking like. Everything is now plugged in, and as you can see, we have a complete disaster mess. We're just gonna take our time, try to really nail down this cable management right at the get-go. That's gonna go over there. I'm actually not even gonna use Velcro. We gotta go. We gotta go all out zip tie on this one. That way we can really tighten things down. My preference would be Velcro. More versatile. Easier to remove, obviously. But we gotta go all in on making this somewhat decent, because this is gonna be a tough one. Now is not the time for cable management, doctor. That comes later. No. Hard disagree on that opinion. I mean, I do this every time, but I think now more than ever, if you are working on a difficult cable management project, I firmly have always believed that you should cable manage as you go. Instead of plugging in everything all at once and then dealing with a ridiculous rat's nest later. I like the idea of doing it as you go. That way it's less of a headache later. I do remember doing this actually. See, this is what I don't like. We have all these fans coming in over here, or cables. We got all these cables coming in over here. There's no sort of cable zip tie down over here because they wanted to leave room for a radiator or for fans there, which I don't think many people are going to use. So I am going to use it as a little white zip tie holder here, which is not what it's intended for, but I'm gonna send it. Could you use magnets for cable management? Not that I know of. I'm sure somebody has a product out there, but I don't really know of that being a possibility. Do you guys? A magnetic cable management solution? Probably. I did that wrong. I have Heineken beer ads. Ew. Not a fan of that one. I haven't had a Heineken in probably over a decade, but... Oh, LTT has a magnetic cable. Really? For inside a PC? Or are you talking about, like, on a desk? Inside a PC, he has a magnetic cable management product? Is that true? I gotta check that out if that's true. I feel like that's like a desk product, though. LTT has magnetic cable management, but not for inside the PC. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, I just realized I did this wrong. I don't want this going across this hole right here, because that's going to make it more visible. All right, starting over. This is going to be a tough one to cut without cutting these cables. This is a tiny... That didn't work. It's a tiny zip tie. Let me cut it from this side. Yeah, this is going to be a bad one, man. This is going to be a real tough cable management project. Alright, let's try that again. This is why we're using white zip or clear zip ties. That way we can get away with routing them through the front here. It'll be visible, but not like obvious with the black ones. Okay, now we have a little zip tie here. Now I'm gonna bundle these up. Zip tie that down. There we go. Much better. Just like so. And then I can do the same thing over here, so we can at least get these looking decent. Like that. There's a lot. This is being very tedious, and if you guys have not watched ZTT for too long, then please know that I am definitely not a cable management pro. I have never taken a lot of pride in my cable management. But on some cases, in some projects, you don't really have a choice other than to lock in. And when you have a case that does not help you with cable management, like this one, I think the only viable solution is to just lock in and go all out. Otherwise, you're just going to create problems for yourself, and it's going to be a big headache. So, this is definitely not my norm of making these nice, pretty straight lines at the beginning. But I think this is the only viable solution for a case like this. Otherwise, it's just going to be a nightmare after we add all of these cables. Did you put the ugly GPU in the streaming PC? No. I don't know what you're talking about. You talking about the 4080 Super? The ugly 4080 Super is in my server. That way we can't see it. The MSI Supreme 4080 Super, that's in the home theater PC, the projector PC. In the server rack, so you can't see it. All right, here we go. We got this. Coming across like that. Our last difficult zip tie of this manner. Boom. There we go. Now these are at least looking somewhat decent. And now we got to deal with this huge dilemma over here. There's not going to be much that we can do about this cable, because that's not long enough to go all the way over there, and it's not long enough to go all the way here. So that's gonna have to hang out there for a little bit. But what we do need to address is this big old bulk. And I don't really know how to do that. Other than to just zip tie it all down and hope for the best. We just gotta find the 3-pin ARGB that's the end of this nightmare of a daisy chain, which I actually don't see. Where is it? Oh, right here. This is what we need. The female connector. That is the end of the daisy chain. So we can basically hide everything else in here and like bundle this all up like this. Oh my god, this is gonna be so bad. That is okay like this. Yeah, and we're just gonna bundle it all up like so. Not gonna be pretty, but it'll at least be functional. And I think there's a zip tie under here. Oh my god, there's not. There's not even a zip tie down point right here. So we're just gonna send it. Zip tie there. We'll put another one down here for good measure. Like this. Bam. There we go. Probably should do one more. Just to tie down this bulk. Or tighten down this bulk. Horrible? Yeah, this... We're doing the best we can, man. There's not much we can do with that huge bulk right there. This one, we can come up here, or we don't need to come up there. We can just leave it right there. These cables we're not going to be able to do much with. Unfortunately, we'll just let that hang, and let's start snipping these zip ties. This is usually the total amount of zip ties after the GPU, the AIO, everything's in. Oh my god, we have so many more cables to add to this. But that's what we're looking like so far. You know, we got a decently clean line there. Definitely some clean lines going across. Nothing we can do about that one right there. But yeah, I mean, this is gonna be tough, man. This is gonna be real tough. This is definitely quite a cable management project. But now we can get our power supply. Gonna put this with the fan face down. That way it intakes fresh air from underneath the case. And I'll install that here in the back. What case is this? It is the Montech XR Wood. What helps you sleep at night? What do you mean by that, man? Are you talking about literally, or like, are you trying to say that like I'm guilty of something? Who said that? William Lucas? What are you talking about? Why are you asking me what helps you sleep at night? What do you mean by that, man? I'll wait. I got it up on the screen, that way I don't forget. What helps you sleep at night? Yeah, that's weird. I want to know. You just talking about like in general? Sus. Where'd William Lucas go, man? The allegations are out. That's what I'm wondering. Are there some allegations? The cable management? I gotta get you off the screen, man. That wasn't worth my time. The cable, dude, I'm doing my best. His success helps him sleep? No, that's what... The lack of success is what keeps me up at night, ironically enough. The only reason I sleep is because I am in I have employees and I'm trying to grow a business, and I'm a dad of a 5 and a 3-year-old. So I am permanently exhausted. That's the only reason I sleep. That was fun. Let's get dialed in here. That was fun. We got some serious work to do. We are not even close to done. 13 minutes on the SD card, man. Bro, how often do you stream? I actually just started streaming more. I definitely stream a PC build like this every Thursday. And about every 6 weeks or so, we give out a gaming PC. But aside from that, I just started what we call ZTT Night Shift. How many people... Getting sidetracked already. How many people tuned in for the first ZTT Night Shift this week? Did you guys watch that? Or did you have that up, I should say? Did you clock in for the ZTT Night Shift? Yeah, you guys were there? It was fun? Yeah, so ZTT Night Shift, it's a no mic gaming stream where you can just throw it up on like the second monitor. I think I'm gonna do it from now on, like when I'm gaming. At least, like, I mean, most of my gaming sessions are like a quick half hour before bed or whatever. But if I'm gonna sit down at night and like game for like an hour or 2 hours, I might as well throw up the ZTT Night Shift. And that way you guys throw up the stream and it's another chance to earn giveaway points for the current PC giveaway, like this one that we're running right now. And, you know, the trade-off, as you guys can probably imagine, is I just get ad money from that. Like, most people are not... There's a couple animals like Numpty who sends out biddies during ZTT Nightlife. But I definitely don't anticipate that. But I will make ad money from the non-subs who are watching, trying to earn the free points. So it's a win-win for everybody. You guys get a higher chance of winning the PC. We get some ad money so we can continue to give out free PCs every 6 weeks. So yeah, I like it, man. I like it. Night Shift was great as a gamer dad. I get it. Nice. I deep down believe... I was telling the mods this the other day. I deep down believe that we're all just, you know, either working towards or wishing that we were professional gamers. And ZTT Nightlife might be my path to becoming a professional gamer. Getting paid to game, to play video games, I mean, that's all we want. We're simple creatures. We just want to get paid to play video games, man. Live your dream, bro. That's what I'm thinking, man. I think I might just send it. Go all in on ZTT Nightlife. I think that's the play. Heck yeah. I want to live that dream as well. I'd sub if I wasn't broke. No worries, man. No worries at all. If you watch on Twitch and you tune into a stream like tonight where people like Milkman and Scarfo gift out 100 subs, got a good chance, man. Got a real good chance. Do the votes on the games you play? Yeah, I mean, this is the first week of ZTT Night Shift. There's a couple things I'm debating about. Like, at the end of the day, it's not meant to be incredibly entertaining. It's just meant for you guys to put it up on the second monitor and earn some free giveaway points, and I earn some ad money. I don't want to do ZTT Night Shift and play a game that I don't want to play. I want it to just be whatever I was going to play that night regardless. If I'm going to play like a viewer-voted game, I would rather have the mic on and make it a proper stream. But I have thought about some things, like ways that you guys can interact with the stream during ZTT Nightlife. You know, give you guys some games to play, or give you some control over what's on the screen. You know, just the basic stuff, nothing super revolutionary, but I haven't thought that far ahead yet. No, I don't need a poll to decide on what I'm playing. Like, there are games that I want to play. Expedition 33, that was like the top talked about game during the Night Shift stream. A lot of you were asking if I was going to play Expedition 33. I do really want to try that. It's on Game Pass, which I'm currently not subscribed to, actually, but I'm thinking about doing it just for that. Try it out. All right, this is the cable management now with the power supply and the cable extensions plugged in. It is honestly still... It's not looking terrible. It's in a serviceable shape, I would say. Unless for the few of you that think my career is over, apparently, from this level of cable management, I would not consider this that bad for the situation that we're in. However, we have an entire AIO to install next. And if the cable management is looking somewhat acceptable now, it will probably be bad after this one. Because this is even more cables that we have to add. No one will see it. Yeah, that's true. It's hidden. We don't talk about Bruno. I'm a big fan of not talking about Bruno, man. I'm with you on that one. All right. Remove that. Sorry, you're not watching what I'm doing. Install this on here. Like so. Let's make sure that we... How's this gonna go? The orientation is gonna be... like this? Yeah, that would be perfect. Yep. Just like that. Alright, remove this top piece. Let's get our screws out now to mount the radiator. What mic are you using? This is the Corsair HS80. You can type in exclamation point headset. Probably the best wireless gaming headset microphone on the market. I have not tried them all. Probably the best. Exclamation point headset. Let's get ready to install this. We do have some exposed thermal paste here because you can't put the cover whenever you have the AM4 slot. Actually, before we do that, let's untwist tie this cable because we will want to feed this through the back of the case. There we go. Okay. Like so. We're gonna try to, first I'm gonna feed that cable through, like I just said. Maybe. Maybe. What AIO is that? Is the Montech Silent something? Hyperflow? Yeah, Hyperflow. Wow, I was right. The Montech Hyperflow Silent 360. Shout out to Montech. Okay. All good. Just unplugged it. No biggie. Please don't drop the GPU. I will try not to, man. Let's try this again. Pull that cable through. Okay, that's good. Now, we gotta position this AIO so we can not only get it in this case, which it barely fits, but we also don't want this exposed thermal paste to hit anything, especially since everything is white. So that can hang down right there and it's barely not touching the ground. I don't know for how much longer though. And now I can start to install this radiator into the top of the case. All we got to do is get 2 screws installed and then it'll... Oh, one of them dropped. All right, we dropped the screw. but that's like an every Thirsty Thursday occurrence at this point. We got 2 screws installed. Now I can let go. Thermal paste is still good. I guess we'll just leave it there. And then we'll install the rest of these screws and we should be good to go. Gotta crawl before you can walk. I'm working on my dropping skills, man. I mean, I've been dropping screws since the beginning of Thirsty Thursday. That won't change. Let me buy one of those screwdrivers from you. No, I love my collection of LTT screwdrivers. I mean, when I had one LTT screwdriver, the all black one, I had a lot of pride in that one. I didn't pay for it, mind you. Brett actually, ironically, gave it to me for free. But I liked explaining to people that I support the LTT screwdriver. Now, they did run a paid ad on our channel a few months ago, but like, I've been using the LTT screwdriver ever since it came out. I like that a fellow YouTuber created an actually good product. Do I recommend you buy an LTT screwdriver if you're trying to get price to performance value out of a screwdriver? Absolutely not. It's like $70. It is very expensive. But if you want to buy a cool screwdriver that makes you feel like you're part of the PC building community, this is by far, objectively, the #1 most recognizable screwdriver in our industry. People know what the LTT screwdriver looks like. So I think it's fun. I think it's very cool. And it really helps that it's actually a good product. But now my collection has grown to, I think I have 4 of them now. We got the black, the white and purple retro, this red one, and then the white and the red one. Yeah, we have 4 of them now. And I'm not going to sell them. I like them, man. I think it's cool. Not a collector's item, but I think it's cool to have. All right, those screws are installed. Will there be another screwdriver like it? I don't know, man. I don't know. Not from me. Non-Poppy with the 3-month tier 1 says 3-month sub. Okay, let's go. Taco Man with the Twitch Prime. US Twitch Prime. Hair to the pot. I don't know what that means. With the Twitch Prime sub. Adam with the 13. Oh, I already read that one. They're making an all metal one, I believe. At least they have a prototype. It was in a recent video I watched. No, I don't think they're making it. Brett has the prototype. I've used it. I've installed a 5090 with it, which is insane. They did a charity auction and they sold the metal prototype, LTT. They sold the metal prototype that they used to create this LTT screwdriver. Brett bought it for like $1,000. It was crazy. It was for charity, so it's okay. But I think he spent like $1,000 on it. And instead of like putting it in a display, he just uses it. And when I went over to his stream a couple times, it's like the default screwdriver that I use, which is wild. Just casually using a screwdriver that he spent $1,000 on. Ridiculous. But he's getting his money's worth, man. Very functional. Yeah, exactly. It's heavy. That thing is heavy too. Easily triple the weight of this. Easy. How often do you go to the casino? Almost never. I'm not a big casino guy. A lot of my friend group from high school was like big casino people, which I like tried to participate. Now I like sports betting. I wouldn't say I'm on the degenerate level anymore, but I've been sports betting for a couple decades now at this point. But like casino games, they've just really never resonated with me. All right, here's the Montech AIO. No plastic cover. Over there. we're just gonna slot this down right here. We got the Montech text upright, which is what we want. And we're just gonna line that up with the screws that we already pre-installed. And then we can use these little screws. And we will hand tighten all of them. And then apply pressure in our typical star pattern to equalize that pressure. I built my first PC and I'm only 12. Let's go, man. Nice work. Key with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you. Appreciate that. Have you ever played the retro old school games like Space Quest? I don't think I know what Space Quest is. Please don't be mad. But what I will tell you is I have some videos. I haven't filmed them yet, but I bought a mini PC to turn into a retro arcade for my kids. And we have been having a blast with it. I have those like arcade sticks with like the buttons that you mash. And I built a like MAME arcade emulator thing. So you turn on the PC, it just defaults to like any arcade game that we have installed. And dude, we've been loving that, man. It is so cool. We got the AIO installed. Actually, before I flip this over, I can install the radiator pump. It's gonna be actually super. I might have. Now I can get my hand in there. Radiator pump, I believe, goes in that slot. Boom. There we go. We also want to try to route this cable, I guess, towards the back, so we can grab it on the back side of the case and hide these cables. Nope. That didn't work. Try that again. There we go. I think that's good enough so I can pull it through on the back side now. There it is. Boom. There we go. Hide that cable back there. And then this cable needs to be hidden a little bit. Boom. There we go. Okay, actually making progress. And now this is what's left. We have this connector now. This is for the 3 fans that are daisy chained. That we will actually want to come back through the front and plug into the CPU fan header. That way they ramp up and down based off of the CPU temperature and load percentage. Sorry to ask, but does Key's fan really work? So if you might have seen my video, I mean, this is a long time ago now. We made the decision a while ago to not rep or do sponsor content with third-party key resellers. But if you'll remember, I made a lot of videos about Key's fan. And what I would tell people back then is, if you think that I would make a bunch of videos with a key... Wow, I don't know if I can get my hand in here. Let's actually uninstall this RAM kit. That will probably make life a whole lot easier. If you think that I would make sponsor content, even back then, about a third-party key reseller and it didn't work... If you think that I would do that, then I don't know why you're watching me. Like, why would you watch a creator that you think there's a chance that they're like trying to scam you? That makes no sense to me. Key's fan has always worked for me. And everyone else that I've known uses it. I have probably personally purchased hundreds of keys. Oh, and a keys fan. We have just chosen to not work with third-party resellers because it is a gray market item. It is not 100% crystal clear where they got the keys from. We don't know that. That is not public information. For what it's worth, Keys Fan has been emailing me ever since and explaining that they're ethically sourced and all that, but I'm just giving them a hard no. Let's finish building. Here's what we got. The only thing I got left to cable manage, I think, is this, yeah, this little AIO nonsense. Couple cables here and there, we should be good. Welcome to the game, guys. We're up to 58%. No, they do not know. That's wild, man. Well, I mean, what are they teaching these kids in school? Repeat question, are you considering building in the H3 flow? Man, we could have a full conversation about that one. I don't know what I want to do about that yet. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. I mean, we just all lost the game. My SD card's full. We're at 3.5 hours on this stream. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Probably the most real thing I've said all night. I am not, like, rooting for Aaron Rodgers to go to the Steelers. If he does go to the Steelers, I will be excited about it for, like, the 1 year that it probably happens. I am far more excited about the potential of somebody like Will Howard taking over. Will Howard has been a good show for us since we drafted him. I'm rooting for him. But if Aaron Rodgers is our guy for a year, then he's a fantastic quarterback. I will be all about it. I will become a huge Rodgers fan. But for now, I'm not holding my breath. Do you know Bitwit? I mean, I know of him. He's one creator that I have not met, though. I've never met him in real life or talked to him. Like through DMs or any. I don't think I've ever talked to Bitwit. All right, GPU finally. Oh my God, long live stream. We got the XFX RX 9070, the non-XT model. Finally going in here. Might need a GPU sag bracket, which I do not have at home here, but we have plenty of them at the office. Maybe we don't actually. It actually feels pretty. We'll see. Hold on. Surprisingly, it actually feels pretty sturdy. Wow, that's impressive. That's super impressive without a GPU support bracket, actually. All right. Install that. No, this build is not to sell on the website. Well, we will sell it as a drop later, but this build is for an upcoming YouTube video. We are... I explained all this in the beginning, but the quick recap is... A lot of people have been pairing a 9800X3D CPU, aka the top-of-the-line CPU, with more mid-range GPU options. That seems to be like the ongoing meta right now for CPU and GPU combinations. So I am building this PC so we can test that. Yeah, I got one more thing I got to do here. If I have one of these available. I keep forgetting to grab more at the office. I hope I have a... Oh, I might... Oh, I got one left. Wow. I got one left. The, This is a SATA-powered ARGB connector or adapter. I do not recommend using these. I'd rather you plug in. We have this one ARGB port here. This is why we saved it at the bottom of this huge contraption of cables here. You could plug this into the motherboard. That way you can configure the RGBs to be whatever color you want. And that is definitely what I recommend doing. But for the purpose of Thirsty Thursday, this live stream only... Oops. I just unplugged something. I am plugging it into this guy that is SATA powered. That way I can control the RGBs. So we can just see on this live stream what the colors look like. Without having to install Windows and software and all of that. That is the only reason why it is going into this build. Right now, temporarily. Okay? But everything is installed. So I'm not going to install the side panel yet. Actually, hold on. Before I let you look at it, let's angle it this way. Let's configure the RGBs. And I want to configure these to all white. First, we're going to make sure the PC works. Before I show you. Turn it on. Going to make sure that we get fans spin. Oh, no RGB fans. What the... Oh, RGB's coming up on the RAM. Every fan is spinning, but we actually don't have RGB fans. Wow, we didn't hit the mark on that. What did I just mess up? I just did that. All right, we got to troubleshoot that a little bit. The GPU is on. Everything's spinning. Everything looks good. Except for the RGB fans. We got to figure that out. LED button on top? No, it's just a reset switch. I don't think this one has a... I don't think that's right. No, I think the reset switch is actually for resetting. But I could be wrong, because that clearly did not work. Why didn't that work? Huh. I mean, they're spinning. Hold on, let me try something else. Big fan, bro. Thank you, man. The AIO is non-RGB. Yeah, I'm talking about the case fans. The case fans are RGB. See if I can press any... No, none of the buttons are working. Wow. What did I do wrong? It's not the case button, is it? No? Let's try unplugging that real quick. No? Oh, wow. That's concerning. Imagine if they aren't RGB fans. I mean, they definitely are. They all have RGB connections that are daisy chained together. Interesting though. That I don't know if I'll try, but I don't know if we're gonna figure that one out tonight, man. We might have to take that one back to the lab. This is what the PC looks like without RGB. Dude, come on. Let's go. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care what you say about the cable management, man. That is a clean looking dude. Dude, come on, man. That looks so good. Let's go.